Morning and welcome to the tribute to Nelson Fuzzy Thompson, Reverend Nelson Fuzzy Thompson, and this is What's Up Kansas City. And today we have a very distinguished guest with us today, a colleague of Reverend Nelson Fuzzy Thompson, Mr. Dave Whalen, who commandeered the ship for the radio show, for the XCLC radio show, and I know Fuzzy was real thankful to have a capable hand in the skipper's seat to broadcast the message out to us every Saturday. And many of you have heard his voice before, but some of you may have never even seen him before. So now you'll get a chance to see Mr. David Whalen. Good morning, Mr.
Good morning. Good morning.
And how are you doing, Mr. Whalen?
Doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing well. And so tell us about your experience and how it all got started with FCOC. Radio show at our historic KPRT.
Well, it started when Fuzzy had the kidney transplant. He had called even before that he asked me to come on, just sit in with him and so I can learn the system, the process. And then when he went to St. Louis to have his kidney transplant, I was doing solo. Mm-hmm. But he would always call. It was funny. He would always call and say, "How'd your show go? How you doing? Everything all right?" And so everything was well. When he came back, of course, he was on the show, which was more enjoyable for me when he was there in the studio, because Fuzzy could finesse a radio. He can elaborate, paint the picture of a situation. He was always grateful and thankful for the people that came, and I learned that finesse from him. That it's not about him; it's about the person in the studio that he invited in. And Fuzzy's real focus was on the name of the show, Community Solution. He always felt like that is what the purpose of the show was for: is to find a solution for the community issues out there. Therefore, that's how the name Community Solutions came about. So he would always remind me of that when you bring people in the studio, that's what you want them in there for, to provide a solution for the community. But it was a lot of fun. And even when he couldn't come to the studio and he would call in, we developed this process of me starting the show and then bringing Reverend Thompson there. I always say, "Reverend, are you there?" He said, "I'm here, Dave." So he was always grateful. It was a lot of fun. Learned a lot from it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, how long were you in the seat?
It's been 5 years.
5
years. Believe it or not.
Pray 5 years.
It's been 5 years, and I admired Fuzzy because that's quite a commitment. Pretty much 99% of the time, every Saturday for the last 29 or 30 years, he's been there doing that show. And so that's quite a commitment of your life, to be there consistently. And it's been 5 years. We was just looking back, talking about it, and it's been 5 years. So it's been a good run.
Yeah, people take that lightly. You got to be at the station. It's just like us doing this here today. We're like a volunteer army.
Yes.
And you had to take time out of your clock, and I'm taking time out of my clock, and then Miss Nelson is taking time out of this busy schedule. But this is a community solution.
Yeah, it is a community solution.
It's a community solution because we're able to broadcast a message out there to our community, and people are learning about Fuzzy Thompson because we're paying tribute to him. Now, so do you plan to stay in the seat?
As long as they want me to. I think it's probably going to be some discussion as to what's going to happen. I know they're going to keep the show. How they keep it, what the format is up for discussion. But as long as they allow me to, yes, I'll be there.
Yeah. Now, who's going to come in Fuzzy's seat? Do you know?
That I don't know. That's a SCLC issue, but probably, well, I won't even speculate, but I'm sure that they're going to be looking at some people that have been, on the board of directors. but it's only gonna be one Fuzzy. I mean,
Right.
the person won't be like Fuzzy. It will
Right.
be somebody that hopefully has the passion
Yeah.
that he had, and that was a very, very unusual passion
Right.
that he had, and somebody would have to have the same passion, or even more, and take it to the next level. That's what you're really looking for, somebody who can take it to the next level.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: out of all the shows that you did, name me two that you think were very memorable.
With Fuzzy,
Yeah.
shoot, I can't even. That's a very, very good question.
We like good questions.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be diplomatic, but every time he came, it was fun. So I don't know if the best. I always know that when he came, there was a aura that he brought with him, to the station, and when the people came in there, because he was very well respected. So whoever was there, I think Reverend Tyndall. As a matter of fact, I think it is one. Reverend Tyndall, Sam Mann, and him was in the studio, and I was in there at the same time. I think that was probably that was one that I remember. Cause look, you got three guys that can talk.
Yeah.
All of it. Reverend Tyndall, Reverend Mann, and Fuzzy. It was just funny.
Yeah.
What's more funny, Jimmy, is not what is on the air. Is when the break time.
Mm-hmm.
It's before the show and the break time. The stuff that's said, I think that's more memorable than the show itself.
Right.
To be quite honest
Right.
with you, because it's fun. It's just a lot of fun.
Right. So you develop a passion to be skippering this show at SCLC. Apparently you have.
Yeah, I think I just picked up on the reasoning why Fuzzy did this show, and. To get information. The key is, just like you all are doing, and all talk radio, we need information that we might not have known before.
Right.
And so, that's really the key, is to give the public the information.
Right.
So
now, is it something that you would like to tell our listening audience about Fuzzy before we?
It just, the kindness. Fuzzy, one of the things that Fuzzy truly believed in, and that was diversity. If you ever been to when they used to have the mass celebrations down at St. Stephen's Church, that's the very first time, and I've been a lot of places all over the world, but to come into a church and see real Indians dancing, see Koreans playing music, Chinese, he really believed in diversity and bringing people together. And that's what we got to incorporate in our heart, is that people are just really people. No matter if they speak a different language, look a little different than we do. Mm-hmm. And we all want the same thing, and that's peace, family growing up, children going to school, having good jobs. Everybody basically wants the same thing. But Fuzzy emulated that by bringing people together.
And above all, the pursuit of happiness.
And the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, which is guaranteed in the Constitution?
Yes.
About the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, amen.
Well, listen, folks, it's been a real pleasure. We got Mr. David Whalen here. And when is the show broadcast?
Saturday morning, every Saturday morning at noon, 12 noon, Community Solution, station 1590. That's Carter Broadcasting, and they've been great. You got to give a shout out to Mike Carter and the Carter Broadcasting Group as well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it best from Mr. David Whalen, who's the skipper for the SCLC show that comes on every Saturday at noon. And we are so happy to have him today. We're talking about our good friend and brother and the drum major for our community, Reverend Nelson Fuzzy Thompson. You heard it best from Mr. Whalen. Having a very distinguished guest with us today, my friend, Pastor Wallace Hartsfield. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
We're glad to have you here. Let's get right down to it. This is a very serious moment for us right now, memorializing in our way Nelson Fuzzy Thompson. And I ran across a scripture, Proverbs 3:27, withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thy hand to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's inspiring me to recognize within our power.
Yes.
So why don't you kind of elaborate on that and relationship to Fuzzy Thompson?
Well, it is within our power to say it to the people who listen,
Mhm.
people who are concerned, people who the message may reach in days to come about a person like Fuzzy Thompson, Nelson Fuzzy Thompson, great and wonderful fellow, preacher, pastor, wonderful human being. And watch, I would just like to say some things that I had come to learn about Fuzzy, and being at my age now, I'm 85, and I had these 2, 3 different strokes, and it did something to my thinking and skills. I forget what they call it, cognitive skills,
Right.
and all. And so it comes and goes,
Okay.
and so I have to kind of jot things down.
And that's fine.
I just thought about Fuzzy, and I just jotted down that, for example, that Fuzzy was strong, and he was quick on listening. He was strong and quick to listen
Mhm.
to what you had to say.
Mhm.
And then he was insistent. He was very insistent on maintaining the struggle for justice. He was insistent on that. And then he believed in looking for the right moment to leap, the right moment to jump into something. And then Fuzzy was outgoing, and he was caring. He was outgoing and he was caring. And he had faith in God, strong faith in God and in humankind. and with what he believed in human dignity, in the dignity of human beings, that they were created in the image of God. And for you to mistreat knowingly and intentionally mistreat a human being, it was reaching out to strike at God. That's what he believed about human, because they were made in the image and the likeness of God. But Fuzzy was humorous, he was kind, but he could get angry.
Right.
He could get angry,
Right. Right.
and he could get upset,
Right.
and he was like most of us. He had his weaknesses and that kind of thing, but he was on the other side. His strength in things would overcome his any of his weak
Weakness,
moments.
yeah.
Yes, and I there's 1,000 other things I could say, but just to kind of share some of the things that I learned about Fuzzy. Strong faith in God. He maintained against the struggle for justice, and he was insistent on maintaining that struggle. And those are just some thoughts that I have.
But you know what? It's very powerful that we have a chance to say something good about a brother who labored like he did.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? That's power right there.
Yeah, it is.
And to not do it, it wouldn't be good.
You're right. Well, of course, but even as important is that as you say these things about fuzzy, you're hoping that somebody listening
That's right.
will be imitators
Right.
of the strengths of a Nelson Fuzzy Thompson.
Right.
That they would embrace those strengths. They may not do the things that Fuzzy did, but they'll be able to do the things that they can do.
Right.
And it may be even time come. Who knows?
Who knows? That's
What it
right.
will become.
That's right.
I mean, just embrace
Right.
those strengths
That's right.
of Fuzzy. Don't try to be say that like Fuzzy
Right.
as it says, but to embrace the strengths that Fuzzy had,
Right.
and because you can only be yourself,
That's right. That's right.
and you can only be yourself.
That's right. And we need some fuzzies out there now.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, we need some in this struggle for justice. As I was speaking with today with this gentleman here, and he was saying that the embrace of our community, of the African American community, and so many of us who have embraced the values of the majority, of being rich and powerful and having more and more and more, while others have less and less and less, and we don't seem to care. And that to me is the epitome of evil.
And knowing that you got more than you need.
Yes. That's
Right.
that's
And
what I'm
don't-
saying.
And don't want to help nobody.
No, that's what I'm saying. You want more and more and more, and the more you get, the more you want. Someone said some time ago, they were saying they were asked, was it Rockefeller, or I asked one of those great millionaires, say, tell me, say, my goodness, say, how much do, I mean, what do you want to have? I mean, how much more do you want to have?
Right.
And he said, well, he said, as soon as you make your next million.
All right. Right.
And then when you make your next million, it's to make the next one.
Or two.
And the two or three. And then you get that, then it makes the other
Right.
2, 3. You know,
Right.
it's more and more and more and more.
Right.
And you become obsessed.
It's addictive.
Yes. And yeah, addictive.
Yeah.
And you lose sight of humanity. You lose sight of it because you get so far away in terms of things until you lose sight of humanity.
And you know, and often it reflects on how you treat people.
Well, true, of course.
And then you're not very popular.
Well, of course, people are not important anymore.
No.
Things are.
But you know what? I think that mood is kind of changing in some circles where people who have money are recognizing that but not for the people who labored for them, they wouldn't have what they had.
Correct. Well, more and more, and I'm happy about that.
But it's not popular.
But it's not popular. No, it's not a popular thing at all. Because we see in many instances, many of those who have, and they're beginning to see it, they're beginning to kind of drop a little bit, leave a little. And I'm not sure what all of it is about, but some of it is about helping people. Some of it is about just doing what everybody else is doing. It's competing. It's a competition.
What did he do?
Yeah, it's a competition in what someone else is doing. It is not about the people way down here,
Right.
but it's about up here and the competing on this level.
Not genuine.
Yeah,
Not from here.
Yes.
Not from here.
Yeah. No. Yes.
Well, we need some Nelson Fuzzy Thompsons out there. And, I hope that this interview with you will inspire some young folks to maybe come talk to you.
Mm.
And your door has always been open. That's one good thing about you, Reverend Hartsfield. We were at Minority Contractors. You always supported us.
Well,
I mean, you were there, and Fuzzy was there too.
Yes, he was.
We
Yes,
did the
he was.
protest at Central
Yes, he
High
was.
School. They
Yes,
put
he
us
was.
in jail.
yeah, yeah.
And many others. Somebody
Yeah.
brought a picture in here yesterday with Fuzzy
Mhm.
when we protested against Frank Sinatra at Kemp Arena. You know, Frank Sinatra sang in South Africa. Then he came to Kemp Arena, so we protested. So Thabert Marara brought a picture with Fuzzy's feet up in the air, the police taking him down. That was a good one, man. But I remember, I don't remember everybody who was there that night, but it was nighttime, and Sinatra came to the concert in a Secret Service from the government. They brought him in a station wagon, and we blocked those gates, but they finally got old Fuzzy.
Yeah.
Took him on the jet. But I think a lot of people are scared. They don't want to go down like that.
No, and but you know, it was people like Sinatra and the Rat Pack and
Right.
and that kind of thing that finally turned around and began to do things that brought about some of the liberation
That's right.
things.
That's
You
right.
know, and people can change.
Right.
And that's what it's about. I mean, change for the good, change for the better. Those some of you who are listening, make some changes in your life for the good, for the better. And it may not, to you, it may not seem to pay, but it does pay. Because every good thing that you do, it just attaches itself to somebody. Just giving a piece of bread to a hungry person. If that person ever moves up, he'll remember you gave him some bread.
Some bread, yeah.
And he'll remember that. As long as he lives, you gave him some bread.
Lifted him up.
You lifted him. And that's the thing that's important. If I can just lift one, if I can make life better for one person other than myself, my living won't be in vain. If I can pull somebody up.
Pull somebody up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't be in vain.
Right.
Just, not that I'm just interested in pulling up one, but if that's all I can do,
Just one.
just one,
Right.
my living, my life won't be in vain.
Right. Right.
And to me that's a powerful thing that my life has been of value to someone else. It's been of value to someone else.
What would you say to the audience was one of the most memorable experiences that you had with Fuzzy Thompson? A couple of them.
Oh boy.
I don't know. Y'all turned a lot of corners.
Yeah. I would suppose, as I say, my memory is
That's okay.
cut off and all like
Take
that.
your time.
But I can remember Fuzzy and I standing down at the courthouse at the county, and protesting at the time. Oh boy, I can't can't remember so many things that we were together on. But I remember Fuzzy standing with me and we were holding hands, and Fuzzy said, I should say, what are we down here for? He said, are we making any difference at all? And I said to him, and I remember that, I said to him, Fuzzy, I think so, that we're making a difference. And Jimmy, as I sit here now,
Mm-hmm.
and I look back at that experience
Mm-hmm.
that I had with Fuzzy as we were talking, it has made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It has made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And if we had not stood there and made those demands and so forth, perhaps some of the things that's happening now is not enough happening.
Right. That's right.
It's not enough happening.
Right.
But some of the things that's happening now would not have happened
Right.
if we had not stood there.
Right.
And if we had not been there. And but I never will forget him saying to me,
It's amazing.
Hartsfield said, we ain't making any difference. Making any difference where we stand.
Right.
The way Fuzzy, and the only way Fuzzy could say it,
Yeah.
man, it doesn't make any difference.
Right.
And but I would say yes. And I look back at it, and I said, Fuzzy, you made a difference. You made a difference. And that's what it's all about. Make a difference.
Make a difference. You know, a lot of our young folks don't realize that Fuzzy, when he was alive, I'm 65,
Mm-hmm.
he's 70, so a lot of this stuff went on when he was younger.
Yes.
So it's room for a young
Mhm.
person to assume a leadership role like that now.
Oh, of course it is. And you know, it's not so much reaching out to be a leader,
Mm-hmm.
but it is doing what you believe to be the right thing
Mm-hmm.
to do. And because it's so few,
Right.
it's so few
Right.
who will reach out and who will seek out and who will make demands for what they believe is right. It's so few
Right.
until you become a leader
Right. Right.
because of the lack of.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. I was reading, it says a culture or a group of people who come together around a common set of values and beliefs. When we share values and beliefs with each other, we form trust.
Yes.
A set of common values and beliefs,
Yes. Mhm.
and then we develop trust.
Yes. And I would say to you, Jim, that there's nothing in the world like a positive relationship